Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, sir.
Michael Ealy. Welcome.
What's up, y'all? Been a minute.
Got a new flick, The Intruder, coming out?
Yeah, I went to see Little this weekend, and I saw the trailer for The Intruder at the beginning. I feel like they showed me the whole movie, man.
Oh, really?
Yes, in the trailer. There better be a plot twist.
There is.
Okay.
There is. There definitely is. Yeah.
This movie had a different title at first, right?
Yeah, it was originally called Motivated Seller.
That doesn't sound so threatening.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Nah,
it didn't work.
Sounds like a flip my house type.
Yeah, it sounds like a aggressive real estate agent. Motivated seller.
Now, it's an independent film?
It is. It is an independent film. Robert Smith.
Billionaire, black man.
Black man.
4.2 billion.
Well, see, there you go.
Geez, Charlamagne.
There you go.
Bird.
My guy
Go ahead.
Dion.
Yeah. You know, you know Dion?
My peoples.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he financed this film. It's 100% independent. Sony picked it up last year, and you know, it's. I mean, we're just feeling really good about this one.
When people usually say independent, they don't really think about this, because when I first heard independent, I'm thinking a bunch of movies, iPhone type movies out there. That's what people think when they assume independent. There's nothing independent about this film. It seems like no money was wasted, no money was spared. This seems like a full production.
He's basically saying it looks
film.
like the white man did it.
It's done well.
I said nothing about the white man. Nothing about the white man.
Yeah.
It's done very well.
It was done very well. I mean, you know, look, the budget was not, you know, I mean, Barbershop cost more.
Mm-hmm.
About Last Night cost more. Think Like a Man cost more. Like it's you know, it was done at a budget. But this thing about an independent that I've learned, Dion and I were talking about this yesterday, is that when you have an independent, everybody's there because they want to be.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like you know, your rate isn't the same. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're there because of the project. Sometimes people do studio movies just because they're trying to make a relationship with the studio. They're just, you know, they like, yo, if I do this one, you know, this is it. Or it's just, like you said, the budget is so outrageous that everybody know they're gonna get, you know, their little perks and shit like that. You know what I mean? So when you do an independent like this, everybody's in.
Everybody read the script and was like, I love the script.
Yeah, everybody was
like,
I want to be here.
You know what else, too? Now that you mentioned that it's independent, I think about also you guys shot mostly in the house. Like a lot of that.
Oh, my God, yeah.
So I'm sure that also helps.
Oh, I hated that house.
With the cost, too.
Yeah, that definitely helps one major location. I think we spent like 5-6 weeks shooting this film, and we spent literally 5 in like 2 days in that house. And it was like from day one in that house.
It's a beautiful house.
It drove us crazy. It wasn't.
Except for that wallpaper.
It is, but
Kind of
like,
old. The house is kind of old.
It
I didn't like
is,
the
you know what I mean?
wallpaper.
And there's like a swamp in the front yard and like
Where was the house at?
mosquitoes and stuff. Vancouver, actually.
Oh, Vancouver.
So being that it was a small budget, did y'all have to stay in the house instead of hotels?
Fortunately, I've been on those movies.
Okay.
It wasn't that movie. It wasn't. We actually had a hotel room, you know, about 10 minutes away from
Got you.
Yeah.
So let's give some of the plot that we can give for
Okay.
people that want to go see the movie, because we got a little screener, but we didn't get it till this morning. And I want to tell you, I haven't been paying attention to anything that was going on during the show because I'm
neither.
trying to watch the movie.
Right.
in between, but it's really good. So just give us the premise of it.
Okay, so basically, you know, Megan Good and I play this young couple named Scott and Annie, and we're like buying our first house, right? You know, everybody, this is a tradition all across the world. You get together, you buy your first house, you try and start your family.
Very expensive, beautiful house.
Yes, obviously we did it at another level.
Right.
We doing it at another level, but it's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's technically the same thing, whether it's $300,000 house or $3 million house. We trying to, you know, start a family, and ultimately, the previous owner, played by Dennis Quaid, who, I mean, I can't wait for y'all to see it. Like, this dude is just terrifying.
He does good. He does good what we've seen so far.
Yeah, he's terrifying. You know, he has a connection to this house that we're not aware of.
Right.
And so he's having a hard time letting go. and you know, it's creating an issue because I got boundaries, obviously. You know, my character has boundaries. And Megan's that glass half full type, you know,
she's
girl.
very sweet and nice.
Very sweet and nice, and that's why he fell in love with her. But also, like,
Oh, we
come
didn't know
on
that
now.
part. I didn't get to that part.
No,
See?
Michael
I'm talking
Ealy's
about-
character
that's my
fell in love with her.
character.
Not
I said,
That's what I'm talking
Dennis
about, my
Quaid.
character.
I said, is that the plot twist? I'm like,
No. So my character fell in love with her for those very same reasons. So
Gotcha.
it's you know, he understands where she's coming from, but at the same time, he's like, hey, something ain't right. You know,
He's very protective over his
yeah,
wife.
let's do that. And so it just kind of escalates from there.
How close to the character is you as an actual person? Because in the movie,
Are you?
this guy is scared of guns. He doesn't like guns. He doesn't want to be around guns. Are you like that as well?
No,
So you're a 2A guy.
no.
So
no.
you're more like the perfect guy.
I'm a lot like Scott. I'm a lot like Scott. I'm more like the perfect guy. I'm a lot like Scott, and I'm kind of a pessimist, you know, and I don't trust people ever. You know what I mean? Like I have big trust issues with people, but ultimately I'm a lot like Scott up until we get to that gun argument. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't necessarily believe that, you know, guns are always the answer, but you know, as you see the film, you know, you'll see that, you know, there comes a time when you have to kind of compromise.
You come
How
on my
does that
property, I
work?
got to shoot you once or twice. Huh?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, if you're not going to listen,
You're not going to listen. I got
you're not
you.
going to listen, then
How does that work being a pessimist for you, though? Only because, like, I believe in the law of attraction. You know, you got to think positive things, and the energy you put out is the energy you get back. How does that work being a pessimist? Especially in this business. Oh, I'm not going to get the role. I'm not going to get the role.
perhaps pessimist is the wrong. I'm a realist,
Okay.
right? And I'm aware that, you know, regardless of my expectations, I have to understand that people don't look at things the way I do.
Got you.
And people don't, you know, if you don't think I'm talented, okay, that don't matter. You know what I mean? Like I know what I can do. I know what I can do. I know my work ethic. I know what I'm going to do. But I can't expect everybody to feel the same way about me.
Yeah, as I get older, I realize that's the biggest thing I have to let go.
Yeah.
Expectations from other people.
And isn't it freeing?
Yeah, very much
It's
so.
very freeing when you stop seeking approval.
Is this genre of movies, do you like to watch these thrillers and horrors?
You know, Megan made a good point. She actually is a huge fan of this particular genre. I didn't love it until I got into it with The Perfect Guy. And obviously I stepped into it in the villainous role and playing the sociopath. And so that was...
You did a great job with that one. I was
Thank
like,
you.
Yeah.
I know. I actually
You play a
feel
good-
like I
you-
did.
You play a good sociopath.
Yeah, I feel like I did because people thought I wanted to kill Gabrielle when I joined Being Mary Jane. And I was like,
No, stay away from me.
she's the lead of the show.
He seems like the perfect guy,
I'm
but
not
he's
gonna
not.
kill her. You know what I mean?
Oh, I saw that in For Colored Girls, though.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, he got that side of him.
Yeah. That was- yeah. But no, it's unique. But I like the genre. Megan made a good point. It's the only genre of film where you will put yourself in a life and death circumstance. And I hadn't thought about that, but it's very true. Every time you're in a thriller, typically your life is on the line, and it begs the question. The genre itself begs the question: what would you do if this was you?
Do
Now,
you like
women
playing
love
the
you.
bad guy?
Yes,
You do?
unequivocally.
Why? Because it's so far from your character? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the good thing about being the bad guy is you are not the moral compass of the film, right? You have no limitations. Like oftentimes the hero is limited by his morals, the law. You know what I mean? There's things that hold you back from being free, and the villain is so much fun. And honestly, as you see in this movie, as you see in The Dark Knight, a good villain can really, really make a movie. It can really make a movie,
And
for
sometimes
sure.
we root for you too.
I mean, are y'all Game of Thrones fans?
Absolutely.
Just
Okay.
him.
So, Joffrey, Ramsay, come on.
Yeah.
Those guys, Cersei, they make the show. They really do.
They do.
You know, they really do.
I don't watch the
Especially-
show, but I understand your premise.
What do you think's going to
understand?
happen this week?
I
I'm
root
just
for
curious.
Nino
What do you think's
Brown.
going to happen this week? Because this week it starts now. This
Oh,
is
people
really,
going down.
really starts.
People going down.
People dying crazy.
People dying. I don't know if it's going to be Red Wedding-esque, but I think it's going to be pretty close.
Oh, it's the war between the living and the dead this weekend.
Yeah.
You read about that, huh?
I mean, I do read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, women love you, right? Now, have you had a crazy fan run up in your crib or hop over your fence or knock on your door? Similar to the movie, like that type of crazy?
No.
Never.
No.
He's
Not
like,
yet.
I'm not playing those games.
No. And you know, that's a line that I hope to God I never have to cross. Because my family, you're going to see a different side of me at that point.
We've
Not
seen
gonna
For
go
Colored
well.
Girls.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
What about when
That
you're
wasn't me.
traveling and people come up to you when you're out in public, right? And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's an invasion of your personal space, but they do feel like they know you. And sometimes people can get a little pushy. How do you handle that?
They do. I think I get a little lucky in that sometimes when I tell people, like, if I got my kids with me, you know, I'll say, look, you know, not when I got my kids, right? And they tend to understand immediately. Every now and again, somebody will be like, you know, so, okay. Like, it takes them a while to
Right.
process it, you know what I mean? But it is what it is.
And then they still
you know?
sneak a picture of you anyway.
That's the most annoying thing is when people try to sneak a picture. You know, it's like, come on, let's just be respectful.
Oh, when people ask for a picture, but they're already getting ready to take it. Hey, I can get this picture, right?
The worst thing that ever happened was camera phones. It's just, it's terrible.
Where are women the most aggressive? Essence?
Essence.
Essence Festival?
Why do you say essence?
Essence.
I feel like you've had some experiences at Essence Festival.
Man, I did not know that festival was so amazing. Like, if I had known in my younger years that Essence was what it was,
Yeah.
I would have went like way back in the day. Essence is fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think there's certain circumstances where, you know, look, I'm gonna be accessible,
Right.
and it's like,
Don't go to Essence if you don't want people to
yeah,
take
you don't
pictures
want
with
people to
you.
take pictures
Right,
with
yeah.
you. You don't feel like taking pictures. Don't go
Don't leave the
to
room.
those particular environments. You know what I mean? You got to go to those environments
Right.
knowing I'm here for the
It's
people.
work.
And it's work, and I'm gonna be, you know, shaking hands and kissing babies all day.
Right.
It feels like campaign trail in a lot of ways.
Now, let's get back to the Intruder for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that your character was a little mean
Hell no.
to him in the beginning? Because I did feel bad. I felt, you know, what Megan Good was feeling, what
Did you
Annie
really?
was feeling. I did feel that. I was like, okay, you know, he lost his wife. It's hard to let go of a house that you've had forever. And your character was a little bit, I was like, oh, he's being kind of nasty to him. At first, I was thinking that.
No.
I would say that Scott is a bit snarky,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but that doesn't make him mean per se. And I also think that I will say that I'll trust Scott's instincts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Scott feels like, you know, he's a little handsy with my wife. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like, and you know, I think when you're with someone like Megan Good's character Annie, you know that people will try and take advantage of her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll try and take advantage of her niceness, so
Right.
to speak.
I take it as you just didn't trust people. Like,
And so you're
Which
kind, you're gonna
means
kind of
maybe
be
you
like,
can't be trusted.
what's
Why
that?
would you trust that white man in the Trump era? Okay, that man, he looked like he got a MAGA hat in
First
the
of all,
house.
if you look at the first time we meet him, right? What does he
does a
do?
little bit.
Yes.
What is he? Well, yeah, exactly. And look, you saw the hat he was wearing.
shooting
on
at
that,
you.
on that,
Yeah, it
on
was-
that,
it was
on that-
red,
on
right?
that, on that tractor.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He's shooting deer.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, he's out there in the backyard. He comes at us with a shotgun. That's my first encounter with this
Right.
man. It's already a no for me on as far as this house is concerned. But because she wants it real bad, and you know, happy wife, happy life. That's the mantra.
Now, I don't necessarily believe in patriarchy, right? But
Okay.
in those moments when you feel like it could possibly be danger for me and my family, even though your wife loves this house, in real life, wouldn't you have to be like, baby, nah, man, this ain't the location for us.
I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that in that particular circumstance where Scott and Annie meet Charlie, I don't think Scott knew where it could go.
Got you.
You know what I mean? I think he just thought, this is the country, and I'm a city boy, and I don't know how they do things out here.
Right.
But I mean, you know, if y'all just want to kill animals, you know, that's on you. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? But like, I just know that, like, if you look at it, the movie in its full context, you'll see that Scott never really wants this house. It's all Annie, and he's literally just trying to make her happy. You know, if
Right.
you see him when they first see the house, he's looking around and like, this is not my style. Like, this is not. It's old. It's gonna require work. Scott's not like handy with his, you know.
And then when
He's
things
not
go
handy.
wrong, it always is like, I never wanted this house anyway.
You
I
know
did
how
it for
that- exactly.
That always
Yeah, I mean, there's
happens.
always that out.
I did
when
this
could
for
do-
you.
I did this for you. Yeah.
So you got to be equally meshed as men and women. They got to be equal. You know what I mean?
I think it's always good to make a joint decision when buying a house.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know,
That's a
and,
huge
and
decision.
if you decide to sacrifice everything just so that one person can be the other person can be happy, yes, that will create a problem later on for sure. for sure.
Is it hard to get these suspense thriller roles out of your spirit?
Yes, when you're playing the sociopath. When I played Carter in Perfect Guy, my wife was like, "You just go away." She could tell when I came back. She was like, "I can see it." She was like, "Just go away," and I left for like 4 days.
Really?
By myself.
Where'd you go?
Cabo.
Oh, okay.
I think I
You
went to
on vacation,
Cabo.
vacation.
Yeah, I went on like vacation.
You had to just cleanse
I just had to
yourself
like,
of
because the
that.
ocean I find very peaceful and tranquil, and so I was just like, I just needed to be, there, and I didn't want to be too far away because, the little ones. So I just went to Cabo for a couple of days, which was weird. It's weird to be at a like hotel by yourself, and you see like couples and stuff,
Kids,
families.
They're like, and kids and families and couples by like, like on their honeymoon and shit.
And
you're
you're
like,
already feeling a little crazy from the
and
role
you're
you
like,
just played.
you're like looking at them and they're looking at you like, why you here by yourself? Man? You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, this is really weird. I think I'm gonna go back to the room, just be by myself.
But then you end
know
up
what I
making
mean?
friends sometimes when you go places like by yourself. People do talk to you more. No.
Yeah, to a certain extent. But after that, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I needed complete and utter silence after that because I was definitely in a disturbed place.
Do you feel the spirit leave your body?
I did.
Really?
It's weird. I did. Yeah. I was drinking some tequila.
That usually puts the bad spirits
I
in.
put it away, man. I put it away. I remember exactly the night it happened.
Really?
When I just kind of let it all go, man. Yep.
Were you at a party or something?
No, I was sitting in this this spa drinking tequila, and I kind of fell asleep and woke up and was like,
I'm
all
me.
right, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. It was good. That was good.
Are there certain roles that you've turned down because you're like, this is too too intense for me. I can't go from this to that.
I'm never scared to take. I mean, I think for Colored Girls was probably the most trepidation I've had about taking a role.
That's an African American horror movie.
Yeah,
I've watched that movie twice in my
word.
life. I'm like, I'm never watching this
Yeah, it's
again.
hard.
Great movie, but that is a tough goddamn movie to watch.
It was a tough play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a tough play, and obviously the traumatic scene of what happened with Bo Willie and the kids. I mean that just takes it to a whole nother level. And I was really terrified of taking on that role. I remember at the time I'm like a mama's boy. I asked my mom if she would be okay because I never wanted to disappoint her. She's gone now, but like I never wanted to disappoint her. And so it was very important for her to like kind of say okay to that one. Because, if she had said, I really don't want you to do it, I probably would not have done it.
Really?
Yeah, because that's how much she meant to me.
But she gave it her blessing.
She did. She knew the play, and so she was like, and I told her my angle, which is, I feel like I can shed light on PTSD and the trauma of war, and she understood and respected that, and she said, yeah.
Even though she knew you was acting, she'd still be disappointed?
Yeah.
Was she like a religious person or?
She was, yeah.
Okay.
Was she able to see the movie?
She didn't watch the movie.
She didn't watch it.
She didn't watch the movie, but she heard about it, obviously. And, it's funny because when I read Sidney Poitier's book, Measure of Man, he talked about never wanting to disappoint his parents and how that was kind of what drove him in his career path and everything. And so I think I took that on myself and was just like, I never want them to be ashamed of me. Now, at the same time, I have, a creativity inside of me that makes me want to challenge myself. And so, when I did Perfect Guy, it was all about taking that romantic comedy image and turning it on its head.
Right.
And saying, don't label me in that way.
You just made me look at your character for Colored Girls different because back in the day, I wasn't up on PTSD and trauma and, the pain that he probably had from the war, so he was redistributing that pain to other people. Like now I'm looking at it like, oh.
Yeah, no, he
I got
wasn't.
a little more sympathy for the character.
He exactly. And that's what I was trying to put out there because I had seen and done so much research on soldiers coming back and the trauma that they go through over there. I mean, when you witness kids being murdered,
Yeah.
I mean, how do you come back from that and be normal, right? And the problem with that particular film is that you didn't get a chance to see Bo Willie before he left.
What
Exactly.
was he like?
You know what I mean? But it could have been you, it could have been me, it could have been any one of us that went away and came back. And that's why Kimberly Elise's character is so, she's going through what they call secondary PTSD. And that's when your loved ones or your caretakers are deeply affected by what you're going through.
Right.
And so she didn't know even how to handle me because she in her mind, I was gone, but she was hoping and wishing for me to come back. And that's happening in the real world. That's happening
Yeah, and it shows how we dismiss people with mental health issues.
all the time.
Because I was like, that's just a crazy drunk. That's what I thought. You know what I'm saying? And be like, see, that's why you don't date light skinned guys.
Right.
Why are you hating on him?
You a hater, bro. These guys are haters.
Oh, only light skinned guys can have PTSD. Right? That's
Hater.
only you and I. It's only you. Yeah. No dark skinned brother ever had trauma. Ever.
Never,
The dark skinned brothers don't handle trauma.
Nah, they don't cry.
They don't crying for us. You know what I mean? We don't need therapy. Yeah. Is that what's going on? We straight. Our melanin makes us strong. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Right.
Are there movies that you watched that have changed your life when you were younger?
Oh yeah, Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills
Really?
Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Why?
Because and this is crazy, but that was the first time where I saw the black man outsmart everybody. Like he was the smartest dude in the room, and he was unstoppable, and he had everybody reacting to him.
Right.
Right, like everybody. Like he walked in the room, everybody was like, "I'm sorry, you can't do this." He's like, let me take the flowers upstairs. Just did it. He just did what he wanted to do because he had the confidence, and he was just smarter than everybody.
That's
You
true.
know, the
Slick
iconic
talking.
scene when he walked in that club and was like, I need to speak to Victor. You know what I mean? And it was just like, it's just brilliant. And you know he made it all up.
Right.
Man,
On the spot.
he wasn't even supposed to be in that movie. That movie was written for Sylvester Stallone, I believe.
What? I didn't even know
Yeah.
that. Really?
Or maybe it was 48 Hours. No, I think it was Beverly Hills Cop.
Let's-
I don't know. I
let's
think
research
that was
that
for him,
first.
though. Yeah,
One
I
of them was
think-
written for Sylvester Stallone.
I think
Because
Okay.
the role that he
Okay.
had didn't have to be a black man, but it was, which was, that's just him. He's the smartest one, the
He
most
just-
charismatic, and
he
the way
just-
he was just coming dressed regular, like
Dude, he walking down and Rodeo in like a t-shirt and
A Detroit jacket.
and, and jeans, and he was still, you still believe he was the hero.
Absolutely.
Like that was awesome.
right.
You know what I mean? And some people just took it as a comedy, obviously, but I was like, nah.
It represents a lot more.
And even in 48 Hours,
Yeah,
when
it was
he walked
Beverly
in
Hills
that
Cop.
bar,
It was
when
Cop?
he walked in that
Beverly Hills?
bar, and he was like, let me show you how I do this, and he took over the bar. I was like, I hadn't seen that.
You know the ill thing
haven't
about
seen
Eddie
it.
movies, and when I
And
found
Trading Places.
when I realized Sylvester Stallone was supposed to play Axel Foley,
Yeah.
you realize all this time you think Beverly Hills Cop was a comedy. It wasn't. It was an action movie. Just had Eddie Murphy leading it.
When Eddie Murphy took it, it became an action comedy. right?
Absolutely.
And perhaps that's when the genre was born.
Yes.
Perhaps. I got to look at that.
Are there any roles that you decided not to do that you regret? And that's a damn, I should have did that role.
No.
None at all.
No. And I mean, there's roles that I didn't get. You know what I mean? That I didn't get. Maybe I auditioned and I didn't get it. But I've also grown and matured to a point where I'm confident that what's mine is mine. And, what's yours is yours.
You still go out for roles? Because it seems like
Yeah.
you're so, like people know who you are. But you still have to go out there and.
Yep. Terrible.
You look tired.
Terrible.
You look tired.
It's exhausting.
Just thinking about it. You're like,
No. That right there will bring me down right there. 'Cause you'll be like, what haven't I done to kind of show that I can do this?
Right, you walk into a room and you're
Yeah.
like, really?
Like,
guys?
really?
Like,
Y'all really need to see more work?
But isn't it?
I mean, it's just.
Well, that's why it's
tough.
beautiful when a black man like Dion and Robert can fund the film, and they're like, we know who we want.
Man, listen. Okay.
So you still have to audition.
Yeah, so you still have to
No,
audition
I
for that
did
one?
not.
Okay.
I did not. I
Okay.
did not. But interestingly enough, I did another movie with Dion last fall called Fatale, and that one is me and Hilary Swank and Mike Coulter,
Oh, wow.
and that was the kind of movie where it was like there was a question as to whether or not I was able to be, you know, opposite Hilary Swank in this movie. And, you know, should we look for someone else?
Wow.
You know what I mean? And Dion was the one's like, no, it's gonna be Michael. It's gonna be Ealy. We good?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And because
It's their money.
Because it's their money,
Yeah.
they had the power to kind of just make that decision. And that's what I love. One thing that I love about Dion is he definitely fights for me, but he also is aware that, you know, the audience that I built is, you know, it can supersede some of these other cats.
Right.
Bottom line.
And you know, man, that's why I like, you know, movies like The Intruder, like I like to support, not just because it has a black cast, because we always do that. When it's a black cast, we support it. But it's black funded, it's black produced. Like these are the ones we should be making $50, $100 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, and look, I mean, it's opened my eyes, to be honest with you, to see it done this way and to realize that you can make, you know, if more people started funding films in this way, because the problem with film is that it's so friggin' expensive in a lot of ways. It's not like a music artist where you could just go in your basement and kind of create something on your laptop. Am I wrong? Cannot music artists kind of
Yeah,
do
they
that?
can do that now.
Yeah. So like I was talking to Raphael Sadiq and I was like, you can make a song in like 7 minutes. I just cannot make a film that fast.
Right.
You know, especially one that, like, for you, for example, has a production value that looks good enough to put up on the big screen. It takes money.
And you did your own stunts and everything there?
Yeah.
So they didn't have no stuntmen or nothing. This is
Wasn't
really
in the budget.
Budget was definitely tight, but both Megan and I were like, we really wanted to do it. And we did have stunt people that day. I don't know how good they were, but we had some stunt people that day. Yeah.
And money doesn't make a great film. Get Out had a $4 million budget? Yeah, look how much money that made and how good that was.
I mean, some of the most disruptive films were definitely made for under $2-3 million.
Yeah.
And some movies they done spent hundreds of millions and they're
It's
terrible.
horrible. How much did this
Sometimes
movie
too
cost
much
to make?
money. $5
million?
I think it's $5 million. Yeah. Which, again, you know, you got the right people in place. You know what I mean? You can make it work. We had a good DP. You know, a guy who shot Daniel Pearl. He shot Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Predator, and it's incredible.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one?
The original.
Really?
Daniel Pearl. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that's a true story too.
Right. Right.
Why do you choose to keep such a low profile in the industry, especially in this era where everybody's so overexposed nowadays?
You know, that's a good question. I've given it some thought recently, actually, because I find it almost exhausting being so private. I think I was just raised this way. I've been this way since high school, and I think I was just raised. My father, actually, he's gone as well. My father wanted attention, right? My father probably wanted attention, and my mother just wanted to do her work and be left alone. And I think I got a combination of both. Because obviously, you know, if I chose this industry, there's got to be something in me that wants some attention, right? But my mother is the one who kind of shaped how I handle the business.
Right. You want attention for your work.
That's it.
And not for your personal life. What did your parents do?
My mom worked with IBM for 30-something, 40, I don't know, 30-something years, 25 years, something like that. And my father, they met in the military. And my father worked in the grocery store business. He was like a manager for grocery stores for like, I don't know, 30 years or something like that. So yeah, they were very, very regular people. Just wanted to kind of do their thing and be left alone. And I think I got that. And I think also the way that the world works now, like it feels like everybody's screaming for attention.
Yes.
Even if you have no talent,
Right.
you're screaming for attention.
Even more.
Yeah, like you scream harder and you go even to further further lengths to try and get it. You know what I mean? And I think that's just where we are, and we tend to reward those people.
Mm-hmm.
We reward those people by giving them a platform to speak out on issues that, quite frankly, they have no business speaking on.
Right. We'll be like, this person's so crazy. What they saying today?
Right. And, people, come on, man. People just write stuff. And, and it's not, a lot of people don't just.
It's a lot of think pieces with no thought.
Well said. That's even better. Yeah. Or no, real research. Some people don't even do research. They just say, this is what I'm thinking. And it's supposed to be the gospel. Right? It's supposed to be clinically right.
That's because people take it as such, though. Because they don't
I would
do the
agree
research.
with you on that. I agree. People don't want to. They'd rather read something by a famous person than someone, who actually did the research. And that's if you watch that what's that documentary? What the hell?
What the hell?
Yeah.
That was eye-opening experience for me.
He's like, I can't eat this anymore. I can never eat.
I was like, wow,
Another horror movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you
That
stop
was
eating
brutal.
meat?
No, but I made a commitment to.
What does that mean? What the hell does that
That's
mean?
some shit you tell a girl you don't really want to be with. You still want to have sex with her, but you don't want to be with her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What kind of commitment if you ain't stopped?
Well, I realize that. I think what I realize is that, for one, it would be stupid for me to just say I'm going to try and do something cold turkey like give up meat. Right. I actually love meat. I love to eat it. I'm a carnivore at heart. It is what it is. But I know that as I get older, that for health reasons, it's not going to be. It's better to go more plant-based, and I want to be around for my kids. So I'm kind of weaning myself off slowly, rather than try to go.
No, that's good as long because I do this thing. I don't eat red meat at all, but I haven't had it in 20-something years.
Okay.
But I don't eat pork. I don't eat seafood at all. I never have my whole life, but I still eat chicken. But because of that, I think I overcompensate and eat too much chicken.
Right.
So now I only eat chicken twice a week.
Okay.
And so at least I still have it because I feel like it's hard to. Sometimes I just feel a little weak. Without that protein. And I'm a real picky eater. So I think it is about doing better. Let me figure out how I can replace certain things. And when you go out, you're like, you know what? Instead of this steak, I'm going to try this, Beyond Burger.
I think that all is well in moderation.
Right.
And I think, it's silly to just kind of give up everything cold turkey and just be like, this is how I'm going to do it. Because I think you're going to relapse ultimately. And if you don't, bravo. But I feel like life is tough, man.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's a burger or
I just need that
some
piece,
wings or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it makes you feel good, and it's
So
just
French fries.
Yeah, it's
aren't
comfort
good for
food
you
for a
either.
reason, you know what I mean? And it's my wife's a foodie as well, so we eat well in that way. But it's like, I enjoy food, and I want to be able to go to a country and enjoy food. So I don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself, but at the same time, I do know that going plant-based is probably the best way to have longevity.
Right.
So what's the commitment again? Just tell us so we know.
I told myself I'd probably be meatless by the time I'm 50. That's what I gave myself.
50? What are you, 42?
I'm 45.
45, 5 years? I mean,
That's the plan.
Okay.
yeah.
We'll see.
You could do things though,
I
like
didn't
you
want
know
to say.
what?
I was gonna say something. I was like, I'm not even gonna put that out.
What you gonna say?
All I'm saying is the meat can kick in the next 5 years.
It could.
The effects of the
Goodness
meat.
gracious.
It could take
I'm
me
just
out.
saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
It could take me out quicker than that.
Yeah.
Or you
But
could
you know
just do
what?
like
I'd be happy. I'd be
Yeah.
happy. I tell you that. I'd be happy.
Barbecue would not be born.
Hey, listen, man. Like I said, everything in moderation. But I'm eating less.
Yeah, and I feel
did start
maybe
eating
like
less.
every other day, be like I'm gonna do vegetarian every other day or something like
Exactly.
that. I think that works.
I do that for lunch
Yeah.
yesterday. I had a salad, mixed salad, and a vegan chili. I do that.
Listen, man, if you can I know for a fact I feel better. I don't know about you, but
Yeah,
I
I do,
feel better
definitely.
when I eat less meat and when I watch What the Health. Obviously, I saw that. You don't need meat for protein.
It's hard when you have kids, though.
Thank you.
It's hard. I mean,
Yes.
your kids don't want to hear no
Yeah.
meat, no chicken, no burger. They want meat. So pause,
But
but
they learn from us though.
Yeah, because I don't eat seafood because my parents didn't eat seafood growing up, and I never even tried it.
are we big seafood lovers in the house?
Yeah.
And it is true, you do learn from your parents because some people raise their kids vegetarian.
You know what? I didn't. And so,
So they
I
already
didn't.
started.
And so it's like, and I want them to make that choice for themselves. I don't know if I agree with kind of imposing certain things on your kids like that. I think they should kind of make a choice, a life choice like that by themselves.
Well, thank you for joining us, sir.
Michael
Absolutely.
Ealy.
Now, when is Intruder come out this week?
May 3rd. May 3rd.
Go check
All right,
out
we can't wait
Intruder.
till you leave so we can finish watching it.
All
No,
right,
I'm gonna do a screening for it. I'm gonna get a theater. I'm gonna get a theater and do a screening for it somewhere in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna make that
There
happen.
we go.
Appreciate
Let's
it.
do it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
gonna buy
you.
some tickets. I'm 40 minutes in right now, so I got to see the rest of it now.
That's over an hour already. I'm almost done.
You almost
I'm
done?
gonna tell you what happens.
Nah, don't tell me nothing.
That's
All
what's
right.
up. I
It's
appreciate
Michael
y'all.
Ealy.
Thank you.
It's
And
the
Envy might
Breakfast
start
Club.
crying because he cries a lot during movies. There's nothing sad, right?
Who?
Envy. He might start crying.
I cried during Creed,
Did you?
and I cried during Thug. Did you see Thug?
No.
Nobody seen Thug. You seen Thug?
Okay.
Wasn't Thug good? She cried too. Who was in Thug?
You saw it. Why are you asking her?
The guy that played Ralph Tresvant in the movie, the young kid, he played it. He was
Who,
in it.
Algie?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Issa
Algie.
Rae was in it. Yes, yeah. Did you cry? It was that type of movie. It was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, we're
Michael-
talking about The Hate You Give.
Yes, the hate you
Oh,
give.
yeah.
So why'd you call it Thug?
You
It's
called
called
it
The Hate
Thug,
You
man.
Oh,
It's
oh
called
my
Thug.
God.
We saw the
I
Hate
saw
You
The
Give.
Hate You
My
Give.
daughter read the book and then we
Yeah.
watched the movie. I'm like, what the fuck is Thug?
And Angie Thomas has another book out, and I did her for my book club. It's
thought that
called
was
On
some
the Come
Pandora's
Up.
box
That's a
movie
movie
starring
also.
Tyson.
No. Did you cry
Abby
during
is
it?
an idiot,
Yeah, I
man.
Yeah, I cried during
Okay.
Hate
We
You
all
Give.
saw The Hate
Stop
You
talking about
Give.
me. I cried too.
You didn't say The Hate You Give. You said Thug. We didn't know what the
That's
hell that was.
called-
Like, what the
It
hell
was
is
called
Thug?
Thug.
The Hate You Give.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
cried.
God.
It was a
Envy, you
book.
about to make us all cry.
My daughter
here.
read the book
Yeah.
and then we watched the movie.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I just gotta
cried.
give a shout out to my man Russell Hornsby because he killed that role of the father in that movie.
Yeah, he sure did.
He killed.
He sure did.
Why did you think that movie was called Thug
It
before
is
we
called
leave?
Thug.
I
The Hate You Give is the
It's called The Hate
acronym.
It's
You
the
Give.
acronym.
It's an acronym.
acronym, but it's
Oh,
called
right,
Thug.
right, I got you.
It's
got
really
you,
called
got
The Hate You
got
Give, FYI.
Well, when I watched it in the movie
The
on
book-
the
the
plane,
book
it just
is
said Thug
The
'cause they
Hate
couldn't
You
write the
Give.
whole thing. It just
No,
said Thug.
no, that was your nameplate for the seat, for the
Yeah.
flight you was on. It was a racist flight. You don't even know it. You had your hoodie on and your tattoos.
They're like Thug.
All right.
Oh my
So
goodness.
That's
he's
how
not
it
going to
goes.
cry during in The Intruder.
No, I don't. I think you're
He
gonna
might.
yell at the screen. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna. Yeah, it's not creating tears so
I
much
cry
as
all
it
the
is
time. You come on, now. I ain't gonna think I cry all the time. No.
Nothing wrong with a man crying.
nothing.
My goodness.
there
It's
you
Michael Ealy. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.